high achiever, visionary, leader, sabotage, self-doubt, failure. What do these words have in common? You know, they're really in direct opposition to each other. But one thing they do have in common is they all can reside within one person. You see, we've mastered the art of the disguise, the art of wearing the mask, now literally, and smiling through our pains. So when someone asks how you doing, we can come up with the most elaborate responses like this: I'm great. If I was doing any better, I have to split myself into two people. I'm blessed, too blessed to be stressed. I take care of what I can, and I leave the rest, or I'm fine, or I'm doing okay. And when someone says they're doing okay, we simply take that for face value, even if that person's been crying out for help. There are more than 17 million people living with depression alone in our country. But one of the most overlooked victims of it are Black men. My name is Keith Sagers, and I'm here to tell you simply, my brother, it's okay to say you're not okay. You see, Black men were taught as kids not to cry, not to show weaknesses, to man up instead of being honest about how we feel. You see, real man, we're supposed to bottle our struggles in and carry all the stresses of life in silence. And historically, mental health issues in the Black community were seen as a white person's issue. And we were immune to it, just like we're immune to COVID-19, at least for a little while. But the truth is, many of us simply didn't have the resources or the knowledge to understand how to care for mental health. And this stigma still has weight and contributes to the fact that Black men today are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. That's why, my brother, it's okay to say you're not okay. The Black community, and especially Black men this year alone, have had the highest spikes in anxiety and depression because of COVID-19 pandemics, but also elevated even more due to the recent murders of Black men and women by law enforcement and racists. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rashad Brooks, Ahmaud Arbery. We have to acknowledge the historic causes of mental health challenges in our community, like the legacy of racism, the childhood traumas and toxic marriages, all kinds of phobias and systemic poverties and economic failures. All of these things contribute to the mental health struggles, but also the limiting beliefs that we have that have been holding us back. Now, let me demonstrate that point by simply asking you a question. Think about this. The most negative thought that I have about myself is that I'm what? Now, as you think about your answer, I'm gonna simply tell you mine, and it was failure. But how is that possible, Keith? Listen, you've had a great success in life. You're a leader, you have a beautiful family, you've traveled, you're a high achiever. Honestly, I'm an overachiever. Matter of fact, in everything I did, work, marriage, life, all of that unfulfilled. And when depression set in, I overachieved in that too. You see, I realized everyone struggles from time to time, and some more than others. Many of us have achieved great success in life. We're leaders in business, in our communities. We're entrepreneurs, we're elected officials, we're health professionals. But even with all of the accomplishments and all of the status, we're still suffering in silence and trapped in the prisons of our own mind. Black men struggle with the identity of who we are and if we're actually good enough. Some struggle with taking ownership of the present because they're too afraid to let go or face the past. And some struggle with dealing with the uncertainties of life, so they live it by simply playing small. But here's what I know. I know that we're born with the strength and the resiliency in each one of us. And because of that, you're more than your circumstances. You're greater and stronger than your fears. We are victorious champions in the story of our lives. So there are 3 things that I need you and want you to know right now, that even in your struggle, number 1, you are not alone. Number 2, don't listen to the quiet lies of your mind. Know that you're worthy to have what you desire. Number 3, love yourself enough. Love yourself enough to take ownership of your life, to seek help to heal your mind, because honestly, that is what real men do. Now, there are 3 things that we all can do to help change the narrative. And I think number 1, let's advocate for mental health assessments to be a part of our annual health physicals. Let's advocate to implement and standardize mental wellness and self-care curriculums in K-12. And number 3, let's invest and build and fill a pipeline of Black therapists and doctors to serve more Black and brown communities. You see, that's why I believe there's a new kind of leader in the world. And they don't hide in bunkers. They don't cause divisions. This kind of leader is authentic and genuine, honest enough to say, listen, I've struggled with things, and things are not always okay, but I choose to do the work, and I stand in my power, and I become my best self every single day. There's a new leader in the world, and it's you. So my brother, remember, it's okay to say you're not okay, but it's not okay to stay there. Thank you.